This is one of 48 offices open across the state. And for the first time in 20 years, the Democratic Coordinated Headquarters is located here in Milwaukee, showcasing the importance of a key constituency.
There's this incredible story to tell about what President Joe Biden, what Vice President Kamala Harris have done for black people, the black community, not just here in Milwaukee, but around Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson plans to stay busy between now and November, doing everything he can, personally and professionally, to show why President Joe Biden deserves another 4 years.
The investments that his administration is making here helps us to address issues around public safety. The investments that he's making here helps us to make sure more people have access to housing and affordable housing.
Though black voters tend to back Democrats overwhelmingly, former President Donald Trump is gaining some ground. Nationally, Trump won 6% of black voters in 2016. Compare that to about 8% in 2020. Why do you think that increase is? Do numbers like that concern you at all?
Look, I think that increase is because a number of different factors. But what I can tell you, though, is that if Donald Trump thinks that black people and black men in particular are going to put him over the top to make him president again, he's sorely wrong. We're not going to go as black people in the United States from slavery to somebody who said that he would be a dictator.
With such a big effort being made early on, Mayor Johnson isn't worried, pointing to more than 50 black leaders, both past and present, who are backing Biden.
Birds of a feather, they tend to flock together. And Joe Biden and the support that he will get from black people, from black elected officials, current and former, across the United States, just goes to show about his commitments to black people, not just here in Milwaukee, but across the United States.
But organizers say who those messages come from matters.
It's one thing for myself as a staff member to say, hey, you should vote for Joe Biden, but your mom explaining how Joe Biden's presidency has impacted them, whether it's resources, whether it's health insurance, it goes a long way. And so that connection is what we're trying to bring home.
A message Jalea Jefferson was sharing on the streets during Juneteenth celebrations recently. A Marquette University analysis shows in majority black wards across Milwaukee, support slipped by almost 2% for Biden in 2020, compared to Hillary Clinton in 2016.
Here in Wisconsin, where things come down to a few votes per ward, talking to every single voter, no matter the race, to be quite honest, is going to be key. Informing them on the issues and getting them out to vote.
I think that for so long, people have made the mistake of just trying to get people out to vote without actually telling the story.
Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes now works as president of Power to the Polls Wisconsin. When I talk to black voters, sometimes they say, well, I'm a person, not a vote.
And that has been a big part of the problem. People have only felt like a vote. People have felt like they're only contacted or only asked how they're doing, only asked about their experience during election time.
Barnes is focusing on community engagement with those who typically don't show up to the polls, but otherwise would if they knew casting a ballot could actually lead to change.
Oh, get out the vote, get out the vote, get out the vote. Well, sure, there's a place for it, but at the same time, if people have been dealing with this election cycle after election cycle, it leads to them losing trust in the process, because then it's like, okay, well, what did my vote get me? What's the point of me showing up again?
The answer to those questions could be organizers having conversations in the communities where they live, something Barnes hopes will not only inform, but put things into perspective for voters.
Just because the person they voted for got elected, they shouldn't just assume that the right thing is going to happen. They should also hold them accountable. Or if the person they don't want to win happens to get in office, they shouldn't just step away and check out of the process. They should become even more engaged to push for positive change.
Engaged in an election that will likely come down to the people who live here. In Milwaukee, Anthony DeBruzzi, Spectrum News.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.